This is No BS Job Search Advice Radio. I'm Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter, and this is episode 721 of the show. I'm called the Big Game Hunter because I used to hunt down leaders and staff organizations for more than 40 years, and now I do executive job search coaching, executive leadership coaching. I coach people to play big. And this is a question that I was asked about positive attitude and whether it can beat experience in an interview. I'm real clear about this, and I talk about it on the show. I hope you find my answer understandable and helpful to you, and that you give No BS Job Search Advice Radio 5 stars on iTunes. And by the way, if you're not subscribed to this show and my other one, Job Search Radio, I want to make this convenient for you. No BS Job Search Advice Radio for 2017 deals with interviewing. Job Search Radio deals with everything else. This show is 7 days a week. The other one is 5 days a week. So subscribe to both, and now let's get going. And the question I received from someone basically translates into, can positive attitude beat experience in interviewing? Now, the question overall reads, I have professionally networked, done informational interviews, have had feedback on interviewing, cover letters, resumes, researched target companies, really practiced interviewing for any flaws. Basically, Jeff, can a positive attitude beat experience? The prior was setting the stage for an interview. I'm just curious if you've ever seen it. Thanks. So, here's my answer. And the answer is yes. And the reason I say that is when I look at how firms evaluate, there are a number of different criteria that they use. Competence is the first one. Self-confidence, character, chemistry, charisma, all of which, kind of lead to personal leadership. Now, I know from experience that people, when they report to me, sometimes tell me about individuals that they're working with who are absolutely incompetent. They are awful at what they do. And it begs the question, how did this individual get hired in the first place, right? And the answer is really very simple. Someone liked them. Someone really liked them and was willing to give them a chance. Why did they like them? There's a million reasons. It doesn't matter. Ultimately, personality won out. Now, I also want to say that bad personality loses out, because no one wants to hire a depressed individual. No one wants to hire that arrogant, antagonistic person. There's a lot of negative personality types as well. So personality is an attribute that firms pay attention to. Now, I also want to say that I'm not a believer in firms evaluating for fit. My bugaboo about this historically has been no one is measuring with objective measures the internal staff to identify their personality characteristics and trying to use objective measures to blend an external resource with the internal staff. So I'm not a big believer in fit. I believe most interviewers kind of make surface level comparisons. It kind of reminds me of, or I like them, nonsensical things like that, and they take action based upon it. It's why statistically, firms, hiring managers have buyer's remorse certainly within 18 months of someone joining more than, I believe the number I saw was more than 65% of the time. So they're doing something wrong. And part of that is projecting personal attributes onto people who are on their best behavior. And let me just finish the thought. They're projecting attributes onto people who are on their best behavior. And they're doing it while they are on their best behavior. So no one's being real with one another most of the time, almost all of the time. As a result, each of you is presenting a fiction and making decisions based upon it. How could this ever possibly work out a lot? So again, I'm not a big believer in fit, but your question is, can a positive attitude beat experience in interviewing? I'll answer it absolutely, without a doubt. So that's today's show. I hope you found it helpful. And if you did, here are a few ways that you can connect with me. The first one, of course, is reach out to me on LinkedIn. My page there is linkedin.com/IN/The Big Game Hunter. Mention that you listen to the show because I love to hear from my listeners. It just puts a big smile on my face. Next, if you're an executive and interested in my coaching you, email me at jeffaltman@thebiggamehunter.us. Mention in the subject line that you're interested in coaching. I'll reach back to you. We'll set up a time to speak. We'll figure out whether this makes sense. I want to be clear. I'm not here to be your recruiter. I no longer do search work. I'm a coach helping people find their next position. And as such, my work is not free. I'm not doing this as a charitable endeavor. I'm here to see whether I can help you and whether your background is something where I can be of service. And if you're not an executive, the best place to connect with me is with JobSearchCoachingHQ.com. That's my site where I've curated information that I've created and other people have created. It's there with their permission, of course. And you can ask me questions. So right now there's over 400 pieces of content there, plus the ability to ask me questions. So again, JobSearchCoachingHQ.com is that site. And by the way, and I haven't really mentioned this on the site, in addition to doing job search coaching, I also do executive coaching and life coaching. And I've done so for years. So if you're interested in that, message me again at my email address, jeffaltman@thebiggamehunter.us. Tell me about what you're interested in, and I'll get back to you and we'll talk about it. Hope you found this helpful, and in the meantime, have a great day. Take care.